3 months after my near-death experience, something impossible happened that would change everything I thought I knew about reality and information transmission across space-time. I was living in Sao Paulo, completely absorbed in my recovery process, when suddenly I felt this overwhelming urge to call my brother in Portugal. Not a normal urge. This was different. It felt like someone was literally pulling at my consciousness, like an invisible thread connecting us across continents. When I called him, he answered immediately and said, "Elena, I've been waiting for your call. I knew you would call right now." But here's the impossible part. He told me he had just woken up from the most vivid dream of his life. In this dream, he saw me floating in a space filled with golden geometric patterns, and I was showing him information, not through words, but through direct transmission of knowledge. The shocking revelation? In his dream, I had shown him exactly the same geometric patterns and information I had received during my near-death experience 3 months earlier. Information I had never shared with him. Information about the morphic fields, the invisible information networks that connect all consciousness across space and time. But wait, it gets even more impossible. As we talked, we both started experiencing the same tingling sensations in our bodies, the same expansion of consciousness, as if we were accessing a shared field of information in real time. We weren't just talking, we were quantum entangled in a morphic field that was transmitting information between us instantaneously. This wasn't telepathy as we commonly understand it. This was something far more profound. We were accessing what Rupert Sheldrake calls morphic fields, invisible information structures that exist beyond space and time, connecting all related forms of consciousness across the universe. Today, I'm going to share with you not just the science behind this phenomenon, but the actual maps of how information travels through space-time, how you can access these fields consciously, and why understanding this is crucial for navigating the reality shift we're all experiencing right now. Pause for emphasis. Because what happened to my brother and me, it's happening to millions of people across the planet right now. And if you're watching this video, there's a very good chance it's happening to you too. The revolutionary science of morphic fields. Transition to educational mode with graphics and references. Let me introduce you to the revolutionary work of Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, a Cambridge-trained biochemist whose research on morphic fields has fundamentally challenged our understanding of how information moves through the universe. What are morphic fields? Morphic fields are invisible information structures that exist in what Sheldrake calls morphic spacetime, a dimension beyond our three-dimensional reality where patterns, habits, and information are stored and transmitted across all scales of existence. Think of morphic fields as the universe's information highway system. Just as your GPS can instantly access traffic information from anywhere in the world, morphic fields allow information to be instantly transmitted between related forms, whether they're molecules, cells, organisms, or even human consciousness. The science behind information transmission. Reference: Sheldrake's experiments with telephone telepathy. In controlled laboratory conditions, Dr. Sheldrake has documented thousands of cases where people know who is calling before they answer the phone, with accuracy rates far above statistical probability. This isn't coincidence, it's morphic resonance in action. Reference: the blue tit phenomenon. In the 1920s, blue tit birds in Britain suddenly developed the ability to open. After my experience with my brother, I became obsessed with understanding how this was possible. Through both scientific research and direct experiential exploration, I've mapped out how morphic fields actually operate. The 3 levels of morphic field access. Level 1. Personal morphic fields. Every individual has their own morphic field that stores all their experiences, patterns, and information. This is why sometimes you know things without knowing how you know them. You're accessing your own morphic field database. During my near-death experience, I wasn't just having visions, I was downloading information directly from my personal morphic field, information that had been accumulated across multiple lifetimes and dimensions of experience. Level 2. Collective morphic fields. Families, communities, and groups share collective morphic fields. This is why my brother could access the same information I had received. We share a family morphic field that connects us beyond space and time. Reference: Constellation Therapy. Bert Hellinger's family constellation work demonstrates how family morphic fields carry information across generations. Participants in constellation workshops spontaneously access information about family members they've never met, information that exists in the family morphic field. Level 3. Species and universal morphic fields. All humans share species-wide morphic fields, which is why breakthrough ideas often emerge simultaneously in multiple locations. Carl Jung called this the collective unconscious, what we now understand as the human species morphic field. The resonance mechanism. Sheldrake's In the Morphic Resonance Theory says that information travels through morphic fields via resonance. Similar patterns recognize and connect with each other across space and time. The more similar two patterns are, the stronger the morphic resonance between them. This is why my brother and I could access the same information. Our consciousness patterns have become similar enough through shared genetics and spiritual development to create strong morphic resonance. Quantum entanglement and field effects. Alain Aspect's Bell in the theorem experiments. Quantum entanglement demonstrates that particles can share information instantaneously across any distance. What physics calls spooky action at a distance is actually morphic field transmission at the quantum level. Lynn McTaggart's In the Intention Experiments. The Global Coherence Initiative has documented how focused group intention can influence global random number generators, demonstrating that consciousness can access and influence morphic fields in real time. The time-space transcendent nature. Here's where it gets really fascinating. Morphic fields exist outside of our linear time-space reality. This means information from the future can influence the present. Past experiences from other lifetimes can be accessed now. Parallel reality information can bleed through. This is why during my near-death experience, I was simultaneously accessing information from my current lifetime, memories from what appeared to be other lifetimes, knowledge about future possibilities, insights from parallel versions of myself. The frequency matching principle. To access specific morphic fields, consciousness must match the frequency of the information it seeks. This is why meditation, altered states, and near-death experiences provide such profound insights. They adjust our consciousness frequency to match deeper morphic field layers. Now, let me share the specific protocols I've developed for consciously accessing morphic field information. These techniques are based on my direct experience and validated by the scientific principles we've discussed. Protocol 1. Morphic Field Tuning. Step 1. Consciousness Calibration. Enter a deeply relaxed state through breathwork. Focus on the space between your thoughts. Feel into the field of awareness itself, not the contents of awareness. Step 2. Intention setting. Clearly define what information you're seeking. Hold the question in your awareness without forcing an answer. Trust that the information already exists in the morphic field. Step 3. Frequency matching. Visualize yourself as a radio tuning into a specific station. Feel for the click, When you connect to the right frequency, allow information to flow without analyzing or judging. Protocol 2. Collective Field Access. 4. Family/relationship information. Hold the person in your awareness with love and curiosity. Feel into the shared experiences and connections. Ask to receive information that serves the highest good. 4. Species-wide information. Expand your awareness to include all of humanity. Focus on universal themes: love, growth, evolution. Allow breakthrough insights to emerge. Protocol 3. Cross-time information retrieval. 4. Past life information. Focus on current patterns or challenges in your life. Ask to see the original template or source. Allow images, feelings, or knowings to emerge. 4. Future possibility information. Hold your highest vision for yourself/humanity. Feel into the timeline where this is already real. Receive guidance for aligning with this possibility. Advanced technique, Morphic field communication. This is the technique my brother and I spontaneously developed. Phase 1. Synchronization. Both parties enter meditative states simultaneously. Focus on your heart connection. Feel until you sense the other person's presence. Phase 2. Information exchange. One person asks a question silently. The other person receives and transmits insights. Switch roles and repeat. Phase 3. Verification. Compare experiences and information received. Notice patterns and correlations. Practice What we're discussing here isn't just fascinating science. It's the key to understanding the massive shift in human consciousness that's happening right now on this planet. Why this matters now. Millions of people are suddenly having experiences like mine, spontaneous downloads of information, increased synchronicities, expanded awareness, and access to knowledge they've never learned. This isn't random. The planetary morphic field is upgrading, and those who are sensitive to these frequencies are receiving the new information first. The Global Coherence Initiative Research. Global coherence research shows that the Earth's electromagnetic field is shifting, which directly impacts the planetary morphic field. We're in the middle of the most significant information upgrade in human history. Those who learn to consciously access morphic fields now will become the bridges, the translators, the guides for others who are beginning to receive this new information. Your role as a morphic field navigator. If you've made it this far in this video, it's not a coincidence. You're here because your consciousness is already attuned to these frequencies. You're part of the first wave of humans learning to navigate expanded reality consciously. Moving forward. Over the next few days, I want you to pay attention to information that comes to you without being sought, connections with others that feel deeper than normal, dreams or visions that contain practical information, sudden knowing about people or situations. These are all signs that you're accessing morphic field information. In our next transmission, we're going to explore the holographic universe, why everything is connected to everything. We'll dive deeper into how the holographic principle explains not just morphic fields, but the entire nature of reality itself. We'll explore how your individual consciousness is simultaneously connected to every other consciousness in the universe, and how understanding this changes everything about how you relate to reality. But more importantly, I'll share the experience that showed me how my consciousness exists simultaneously in multiple dimensions, and how this multidimensional awareness is the next step in human evolution. This isn't just information to consume, it's an invitation to step into your role as a conscious participant in the greatest transformation in human history. The morphic fields are calling to you. The question is, are you ready to answer? Thank you for joining me in this exploration. Until our next quantum encounter, remember, you're not just learning about expanded reality, you're actively creating it. This is Elena de Avalon, reminding you that your consciousness is far more vast and powerful than you've ever imagined.